Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 side hustles that you can do either online or remotely. And it's just from my experience what I've done because after losing my corporate job during the holidays last year, I decided that I'd rather work 80 hours for myself than 40 hours for someone else. And, and coming up with that revelation, I just started looking at ways to diversify my streams of income. And today I'm going to go over 5 remote online side hustles that I'm working with after the age of 50. Not making, gonna say I'm making $500 a day while you sleep, but real things that I've implemented and I've tried. Some things I'm gonna be dropping off, some things are doing really well, some things I'm just in the process of getting them started. So hopefully this will be helpful for you if it's something that you're planning on doing, or you're in a situation where you need to have some additional streams of income coming in. So I'm not just going to list everything out either. I'm going to tell you which ones I've done the longest, which one actually brings me the most money, which one takes the most time to do, which one I haven't started yet, but I'm excited to get it going, and which one, like I said, that I'm going to be letting go of. So that's going to kind of fall into the category with all 5. Because, at this stage of life, we don't need more things to do just to keep us busy. When you're doing that's a hobby. We need to generate some additional income so that the things that we're doing need to make sense. And hi, my name is Nina, in case I didn't say that earlier. When I lost my 9 to 5 job that I had for 13 years during the holidays, it made me look at income differently. I didn't want to depend on just one source of income anymore. I needed options, and I needed stability. I needed some flexibility. And, because I do have a insurance and a business services agency that I started myself. So I need something that's flexible, and I needed something that I could do online. And, when I could kind of work on it when I had a little bit of downtime or whatever the case may be. So I needed something to be online and that I could hopefully generate a little bit of passive income from, and something that's not too time consuming, and something that's a little bit enjoyable, gives me a little bit of downtime as well. So if that's something that you're considering doing, I want to give some insight to you on those of you who might be considering a side hustle, whether you need the flexible hours because you're taking care of children, or you're taking care of a parent, or you're just so exhausted by the time you come home from your 9 to 5 that you need something that's going to be, a little bit not as stressful or pressing for you. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight, like I said, about what's working for me, what's not working for me, what's in its infancy stage. And that thing that's in its infancy stage, I'll come back to you in another video and let you know how that's doing. I'm always going to be transparent with you. So let's get right into it. So side hustle number 1 is going to be reselling. I've been reselling. That's the one I've been doing the longest. I've been on platforms like Poshmark, Mercari. I had an Etsy shop at one time. I was on eBay, but right now, the thing I was focusing on maybe 5 years ago was Poshmark and Mercari. And I'm just getting back into that again slowly. And I'm going to be so honest with you. Like I said, Poshmark and the online reselling has not made me money recently. I can tell you for all of 2026, I probably made under $100. But, I'm just getting back into it. Even though I had items there in my store, I wasn't really posting anything new. And, the store was kind of just there. But now I'm back in, and because I have inventory that I need to list. So it's going to have fresh items that'll be coming into the shop, and hopefully that'll work some with the algorithm or whatever Poshmark does over there. Um, I'm also revamping some of the items that I had in there, just doing new descriptions, looking at the pricing, and things like that. So I'm going to also be delving some into Depop, which I haven't done before, and also a little bit of eBay for some different items that I have. I have some household items and some things that I found that aren't clothing related. I'm not going to put any clothing on eBay, but just some other items that I think might do well on there. I'm going to go ahead, just some vintage things that I found that I picked up, and then I said I was going to post them or list them, and I never got around to doing it. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll let you know how that goes. My goal with the reselling is not to turn it into a full-time job, because like I said, I have my own business and that's my full-time job. I just want something I can do to be a little bit, creative, go out and do, well, first get rid of my inventory. I'm not going to purchase anything else until I have everything listed that I already have. So that's number one. And that's one of the things I recommend for you. Also, if you're planning on getting into Poshmark or you're already in Poshmark, please put what you have in your inventory. I know it's fun to go out and source and it's fun to go out shopping, but from a financial perspective, you have to get those items listed before you go out and purchase anymore. It really would, behoove you to do that. Whatever you purchased, you loved it at one time. So go ahead and list it. Just take some time and do that. If you're planning on getting into Poshmark, go into your closet first, see what things there that you don't use anymore, or it's been in your closet for 18 years and you're just holding on to it for whatever reason. Or if you have kids that have grown out of certain items, you can go ahead and list those too and see how you like it. That way you're not really investing any money into it. You're trying it out to see if you like it or not, and then you can make that determination after you get the things out of your house that you already have listed, or the things that whatever the case may be. See if you like it, see how it works for you before you go out spending money, purchasing things. That's one good thing with Poshmark or Mercari, that you can, you don't have to go and to start that business up, you don't necessarily have to go and spend a lot of money to get it started, because you can just get things that you have around your home already that you're not using, and try it that way. So reselling is the one that I've been doing the longest, and it's also the one that I'm kind of rebuild a bit, and see if I can make it a realistic part-time cash flow stream. So we'll keep you up to date with that. So my side hustle number 2 is notary work. So I am a notary, and I also went on and I got my remote online notary. And when I became a notary, I got into it because I did some research and I thought it was going to be a great flexible side hustle that I could do. I didn't want to market anything. That's one thing. I didn't want to go out and market the notary business, because I was already marketing my insurance. I was marketing my business services, that includes tax services and all these other things. So I was doing marketing for that. So I just wanted something where if I had downtime or was a bit slow, I can just log in, because I did research online. And during my research, it was like, oh, you can make anywhere from $25 to $40 an hour. You just sign up with, these are the top 3 platforms that you can sign up for as a remote online notary, and they're going to send work to you. So you log in, and when they see you logged in, they're going to send you, people go online to say they need something to be notarized, which I've done myself before in the past. So I said, okay, that seems like really pretty cool. When I did it, I've done it a couple of times, and a person just popped up there, and it took maybe not even 5 minutes to get whatever I needed to be notarized. And it was really seamless, and they seemed like they were happy. And then, it was 5 minutes, and then they're on to the next. And I think for each notary that you do, it might be like $10 a notary, or $7 or something. I can't remember the exact pricing for it, but it was like, you could potentially you could make like $30, $40 an hour. So I'm like, man, okay, that's good. I could just, if I have downtime, I can pop in and, maybe do a couple hours in the evening or maybe like a few hours on the weekend. And that will help me while I'm growing my business. So I spent all this time getting the remote online notary licensing for that. And then I had to apply to a couple of different places I applied to, and then they had this onboarding, and you have to go and get a background check and get something notarized, and it was a lot of things that you had to do. And it took a while to get on with one of the services. I was so excited when I got on with them, and I even paid extra because they had something where they would put you as like a VIP notary or whatever. I can't even remember what term it was, but they were going to send you work. They were going to notify you when work came. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I go on there and, I see a job that comes on that it says, oh, this person's available. They want to need a notary, and you click on it, the job's gone. So I keep I would get the email. I would go right on there because I'd have the tab open and click on it, and there's no job there. And so I called them up and I'm like, what the heck, is this? I've been, trying to get, I don't know how many jobs, and nothing came along. And they said, well, you have to, click faster, or, because there's other people that are trying to get that job too. And apparently they send it out to like whoever, everybody, and everybody just jumps on and tries to, get the job. So I said, okay, well, I know a little bit of coding. So I went and I coded like a little thing, and I set something up where as soon as that would kind of ping and pop up on the dashboard that you had for this particular platform, that it would like notify me right away. And even with that, I still wasn't able to get any work. So I was just so disappointed, so frustrated. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that. And then I've heard something doing more research that, oh, this place is better than that one was, so you can go and sign up for this one. I did that. It was the same thing. It was the exact same thing as the first one. I said, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I don't want to deal with it. Now, I was getting some emails, honestly, that says that some type of a company or a business needs to have something notarized, and you kind of log in and say yes if you're willing to drive there and to do the notarization there. I've never clicked on anything to see how that works out, just because some of them are far away. It's taking time away from my business, with me working on my business, which is a little bit of an inconvenience, honestly, for me, because I don't want to go get in my car, drive somewhere, spend time doing the notarization. And I think that they pay maybe $50, or I think $50 or $60, maybe even up to $100. But still, I don't know how long I'm going to have to be there. It's gas, it's time, and it's not something I wanted to do. I just wanted to do it from home. Because I already have my business that I have to, drive up to my office sometimes, or I go meet a client sometimes. So I don't want to go and drive to do a notary. So, at this point for me, with everything else that I'm doing, it's not working for me. I didn't want to market it. I don't want to drive anywhere really to do it. I was hoping I could do it online. I just renewed my notary license because I want to keep it just in case somebody from one of my business clients need it, or it's kind of nice to be able to offer that to my business clients. So, but that's the only reason that I'm keeping that. That didn't work for me. It's not saying that it might not work for you. The course wasn't too difficult to get through. The remote online notary, you had to do that. I can't even remember what all that entailed. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 hours of training, and then you have to take a test or something like that. I honestly can't remember, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. I guess it works for other people because there are people that do it, but it just didn't work for me. So that's the one that I am cutting. That side hustle number 2 is the one that's on the outskirts. Not that I'm cutting it, but I'm just not doing anything at all with it. Side hustle number 3 is this, content creation. And I do have 2 YouTube channels. I have this one that, this one's just more like a fun one for me, and we go over the reselling and, I go in and I probably talk too much. But anyway, I'm connecting with people here, which is really nice for me. I hope to help people here. That's what this channel is really for. Well, both channels are really to help people. But this one is to help other resellers, just to promote them. This channel is just to help to really promote other resellers and to be able to support each other. So that's what this channel is for. My other channel is for my insurance, and it's more for business services, and it's for retirement and things like that for, that maybe over 50 age group, or, that kind of has those concerns with the health insurance or whatever. And this one's more well, that one's for everybody too, but this one's just for not really an age demographic when I look at this, because even though I'm a little over 50, hopefully I can, give a little bit of knowledge to someone that's younger. So that's what this channel is for. I'm taking a quick look. With this, I also started a Spotify channel with using some of the YouTube content. I do like to talk a lot. I would like to, so I'm working on that, because I would like to put a podcast together. I'd love to interview other entrepreneurs and just see how they started and what things have worked for them. So I'm developing that right now. I did a few YouTube shorts. I've never done those before, but it was really easy because I used the content from these videos just to go in and, it cuts some shorts out of it. So it wasn't anything that I had to go and film extra. I might do some when I'm out and about to do like a short one, like a little short video and post it. But, that's what I'm kind of doing with that. And since I had the YouTube shorts, I put it over in TikTok now. I have never done any TikTok before. I didn't even have to. I had to put a TikTok account together. But I said, since I already have that content, just like with the reselling, if you're already listing it in one space, why don't you just go ahead and open up a couple other tabs, like have your Macquarie tab, have your Depop tab, and just, once you list it in one space, just go ahead and put it in the other ones. So you're just, you're using the same item, but you're posting it in different areas, because maybe somebody will be on one and they're not on the other, and that will sell your item for you. So I did start a TikTok account. I really haven't done anything much with it yet, though. I did post a few shorts on there. Nobody's really looking at them, but that's okay. I might, continue to work on it, because there's nothing really to post that over there, since I already have the YouTube short already cut. I just use the same content. And I'm also going to be working on a Pinterest. That's going to be a little bit different than what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, and I would like to feature some shops from whoever I promote on this YouTube channel. I'm going to put shops that I love over there too. So that's going to be one of the boards that I put together, is going to be that. So I'm excited about getting that going. I just have to find the time to do it. But right now, I tell you, this one, the content creating, that out of all my side hustles, this is taking the longest amount of time. I'm devoting the most amount of time to this, because I do have 2 websites that I manage as well. So the online content is the thing that between doing the planning, doing the filming, doing the thumbnails, doing the descriptions, doing the editing and uploading, and trying to figure out what really works, and looking at the analytics. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time, but I think visibility is viability. That's kind of what my mindset is. And right now, my ROI, which is my return on the investment, is 0. But it's rewarding, and I know that there's a long-term potential here. Plus, I am enjoying the process right now. And, I know that, working as a solo entrepreneur, it's not lonely, but you're by yourself a lot. You're by yourself a lot, unless I'm dealing with a client, or maybe I'm out networking, which is still kind of business related. I do have a nice, wonderful, supportive group of friends, and, so those things are fine. But, day to day, there'll be days where, I'm just kind of, just by myself working. So I think that for us, anybody that's reselling, if you're doing that alone, maybe you have children and you're doing that alone, but you're still not having any really interaction with someone. And maybe if you are having interaction, maybe you have a spouse or something, but they're not interested in your reselling. So I want for this to be a space where we can support each other. So I'm happy with the channel right now. Hopefully I'll get more subscribers and it can grow a bit, but I'm enjoying everything right now. But this is taking up the most chunk of my time. But I'm treating it like a long-term asset and plan on growing it even more. So side hustle number 4 is the stock market. The stock market income. I tell you, I got, I was talking about side hustles that brought me no money, which was the online reselling. The notary brought me zero. The content creation has brought me zero. But the stock market, that's been really good to me. I started dabbling in the stock market back in 2022. And right now I have dividend income that comes in. This is just some dividends on stocks that I have, because that's kind of what I like to invest in, are stocks that pay dividends. And right now I'm making anywhere from $400 to $500 a month, which I'm just reinvesting that money back in. I know it doesn't sound like it's like a ton of money, but it's passive. It's pretty much totally passive. I might spend maybe 2 hours a week just going in and researching stocks that I might want to invest in and reinvesting my profits. So each month it continues building. And I tell you, back in 2022, because I love to keep a spreadsheet and I like to see, where I've come from. In order to know where you're going or where you are, you got to see where you came from, because you're always making progress. You should always try to make progress. And I'm gonna go off a little bit on a little tangent, but there'll be months, since I am just growing my business, where I think, man, I don't feel like I accomplished anything this month. But every single day I write down something that I did that day, something. And every day when I get up, I write down 3 things I want to get done for the day. Sometimes I don't always get the 3 things done. Maybe something else comes along and I have to put something on the back burner. But every day I write down what I did, what I accomplished. And when the new month starts out, I write down what goals that I want to accomplish that month. So I always have something that I'm checking off and trying to keep myself accountable, because when you're working for yourself, nobody's going to hold that accountability for you. You have to do it for yourself. And sometimes when you're in the trenches like that and you don't have that, you're kind of looking at everything like from an ego perspective, way up in the sky somewhere, instead of the snail perspective, where you're down in the trenches. You don't realize how much you did. So I do like to write down every day what I've done. So anyway, back in 2022, I was making $6 a month in dividends. That's how much money I was making in 2022. And now, here I am in 2026, I made $404 last month. And this month will be even more, because I've taken that money and I've reinvested it. So that's for just the dividends. Now I also trade options, and I carefully trade options. So last month I made $5,657 in trading options. And the month before that, I made $1,628 in trading options. Now, I have to be clear with this, because I'm not giving financial advice, and options trading does involve risk. Before I was doing calls and puts, I lost a lot of money doing that. I went in and I researched and I found something that works for me, but I did lose money back then, but now I'm doing okay. And you have to learn what you're doing. You have to understand the risk and not just jump in because somebody online made it sound like it's easy, because it's I've been doing it for 4 years now. And I'm still learning. I love it. I go in every day checking the stock market. I I get up in the morning, I put on Squawk Box so I can see what's going on with the markets, what the futures are, if they're up or down or whatever. So I just want to reiterate, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just sharing real numbers and what my experience has been. So for me personally, it's been the side income stream that's performed the best so far. I'm continuing to reinvest. When I have extra money that comes in from anything, I'm going to take that and put that into the market just so I can continue building upon my dividends. So the fifth and final side hustle is digital products. And now this one is one that I'm going to be starting. This is the one that I'm kind of cooking and working on right now. And I like the idea of write. I love to write. I love to read. I like the idea of creating something one time that can continue to sell over and over again. It could be a workbook or a guide or a checklist, a little ebook, or whatever, some type of resource that can help someone with a specific problem. All right, the reason I'm interested in digital products is because it can connect with my content creation too. So, all the things kind of can tie in together. I'm already making videos and talking about what I hope are practical topics, and eventually, hopefully, I can create some helpful resources to go along with those topics. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to let you know how that process goes. And it's not anything making money for me yet, but the majority of side incomes that I'm doing aren't making money for me yet. Now, I do have a transcription business as well, but that's not something, that's been something I've had for decades. So I'm not even including that in here because it's not like something that, you can kind of just start up, and transcription is really tough now. I'm grateful for the account that I do have. I've got 2 ICs that work for me. They're both amazing. I have one that's been with me for years and years and years, so I'm happy with that. So quick breakdown, and here's a reality check. The side hustle that I've been doing the longest is reselling. The one that makes me the most money is the stock market. The one that takes the most time is the content creation. The one I haven't started yet is the digital products. And the one I'm stepping away from a bit is the notary work. And I'm not saying that the notary work won't work, but it just doesn't fit, my life and my schedule and things like that. The biggest thing I've learned with doing this, and I've had like little side businesses for a long time, the biggest thing I learned that every side hustle sounds good until you actually try to fit it into your real life. Some things make money, but it requires a lot of skill. Some things are easy to start, but they're hard to grow. Some things sound passive, but they take a lot of work up front. And some things may work beautifully for somebody else, but it might not make sense for you or for me. So my goal is not to do everything forever. My goal is to test, to learn, to keep what works, to let go of what doesn't work. And that's what we should be doing at this stage of our life anyway, to pivot if something doesn't work and you need to, okay, let me try this out then. And at least you'll never have the regret of saying, oh, I should have tried that. Oh, maybe I should have done that. As long as you're not investing like all of these things that I mentioned, it doesn't take a lot of money. When I started with the stock market, I think I invested maybe $100, and that was it. And I started investing with Webull. Maybe I'll list a little thing, or if you guys are interested, I can go a little bit more in depth about like what stocks that I've purchased that I am receiving dividends with. So in conclusion, if you're over 50, or even if you're not over 50, but you're just rebuilding, you're starting over, you're trying to create more breathing room financially, I want you to know that you do have options. You don't have to chase every single side hustle on the internet. Start with the things that you already know, what you already have, what fits into your lifestyle, and what gives you the best return for your time. For me now, focusing on my stock market, the content creation, reselling, and eventually my digital products, that's what my little side hustle focus is going to be on. And I hope that you found this video informative. I really appreciate you sticking by. I'm so sorry my videos are so long. I'm going to go in and try to edit some of it out for you. This will probably be something I'm editing out, but we'll see. But leave in the comments for me which one of these five do you think sounds the most interesting? Which ones are you doing? Is there anything you're doing besides reselling? Or if you're reselling, let me know that you are reselling. And please, put your store name in the comments so I can go ahead and follow you and hopefully promote you. And once I get my Spotify up and running, or even here, maybe I can do you as a featured artist. Yep. So I want to thank you for spending time with me today or this evening or whenever you're watching this. I hope that you had a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.